Hi, my name is Gerhard Gschwandtner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today, we have the great pleasure and honor to speak with Jeremy Miner. He is the author of a wonderful new book, The New Model of Selling. Welcome, Jeremy.
Hey, Gerhard, thanks for having me on the show. It's a pleasure. I love the castle in the background.
The castle is from the 9th century.
A few great grandfathers ago. Okay, that's awesome. I love that, man.
So, Jeremy, tell me about your very first, most memorable sale.
So I got started in sales when I was 21, almost 22 years old. I was a broke, burned out college student. And I got hired as a straight commission sales job. And I remember my sales manager right when I left, one thing that always stuck in my mind is make sure you're really excited when you knock on the door. And if you show them how excited you are, they're going to be excited and want to let you in. But I quickly found out, as probably most of you listening to me right now, that that's really not the case. And when I knocked on the door and I was really excited and talking about the features and benefits and how it was so great and we had the best this and the best that, the prospects, well, they started throwing out a lot of objections. We don't need it. Your price is too high. We already talked with somebody last month about this. And I remember thinking, maybe what I was learning from the quote unquote gurus in my company, maybe they just weren't the right skills. Maybe they were just outdated. Maybe they just didn't work very well anymore. I never thought that before. So at the same time that was all going on, Gerhard, I was in college and I was studying behavioral science and human psychology and why and how a human being makes a decision to either go left or right, how they make decisions, which would really be sales. Okay, and that's what I started doing. I started learning techniques that actually work with human behavior rather than against it. And I started learning how to get my prospects to pull me in rather than trying to push them forward. And at that point, like everything changed. Something became very easy and extremely profitable.
What was the number one technique that immediately made a difference for you?
When your prospect feels that you're just there to make a sale because you're always closing, right? You've got the commission breath. What do? Well, they emotionally shut down. And even the very best questions you ask them, they stay surface level with you. And as we all know, to human beings, buy on logic or emotion, right? So if they stay surface level with you, logical based, and you never pull out their emotional drivers and get them into their emotional state to go below the surface, what type of objections you're going to get in. So I started learning very early on that I needed to somehow get the prospect to lower their guard. We call that the ABDs of selling. Always be disarming. Your prospects subconsciously, we can't even help it as a human being, are picking up on your social cues. So if you come across in your sales interactions aggressive, if you come across needy, everybody knows what I mean by that. And especially if you come across attached and you don't understand the right questions, you don't understand the right tone, how to ask those, it actually triggers the human brain to go into what's called fight or flight mode. We have to learn how to become what we call detached from the expectations of making a sale and instead focus on what problems they have and how you can actually solve those. It's a different way of thinking.
Detachment leads to a disarming process so that the customer can open up.
Well, let me give you an example. You've already met with several of the key decision makers, but let's say there's just this one decision maker. He's like the ultimate guy. He hasn't met you. He doesn't know all this stuff that's gone on. And he just blurts out. He's like, hey, I don't have much time for this. Like, why should we go with you? We already have a vendor for that. Now, what would most salespeople do? Well, the reason why you should go with us is because of X and because of Y and because of Z, and we have the best this and we have the best that and blah, 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 right? Guess what? Every single salesperson that's ever tried to sell that prospect anything says what? We're the number one rated product. We're the number one service. So you want to disarm them, okay? You want to detach. So you want to say something like this. Oh, why should we go with you? We already have a vendor for that. Well, I'm not quite sure that you should yet. We'd have to understand a little bit more about what you guys are doing in X and Y and Z area and the type of results you're getting from that to see if we can even help, because maybe you're better staying with who you already have. Now, when you say something like that, I want you to watch the reaction, the body language, and the tone of the prospect. And they're like, sure, yeah, what do you got? It just opens people up. See, what I just did there is I triggered them to let their guard down because I've admitted that maybe we can't help them. I don't know enough details yet. I'm not negative, like we can't help you, but I'm not like, oh, we can help you because of this, because I haven't built any trust yet. They don't view me as the expert or trusted authority because I just got in the room. They don't know anything about me. So if I can disarm them and trigger them to let their guard down, then they become more open.
What is new in your book, truly new in your new model of selling?
According to the data, it's not very persuasive if your presentation is more than 10% of your entire sales process. You have to learn specific skilled questions and when and how to ask them in a step-by-step structure that will get the prospect to pull you in and sell themselves rather than you trying to chase them down and do it. So that's going to be a big thing that Jerry and I talk about in that book, Selling to an Unsellable Generation.
Jeremy, where can people get the book right now?
You can pre-order it online right now, and it'll be available in bookstores like Barnes & Noble and major bookstores and airports near you, everybody listening, March 15th of 2023. But you can pre-order it online right now. I believe that's going to get shipped out in a couple of months. Then if you want to buy a bookstore, that'll be available March 15th, 2023.